Hey guys, it's Gaijin Hunter, and today we have yet another issue of Famitsu. Of course, Monster Hunter Cross is coming out November 28th, so every week we're probably going to be getting new news about Monster Hunter Cross. But as you can see up here, we only have 9 days to go, so it's this week and next week. I'm going to make this video a little brisk because there's a lot of pages here, but not a whole lot of new info except for one really big new mechanic, and I want to make sure that that stands out and I don't let this thing drag on. So opening page here, we have the silhouette of what is likely the last boss of the story mode. So probably not online, but this thing looks like a huge, almost octopus with tentacles. They mentioned that this is an elder dragon that seems to be using layers and layers of bones. And this appears in the new map called the Dragon Graveyard. So what this thing is underneath, who knows, but you better believe that the organization called the Y Academy is hot on the research and you're going to be helping out trying to figure out what this thing is. Okay, and the next 2 pages are really what this issue is all about, which is a new mode which replaces the Frenzy. Now they kept saying the Frenzy was not coming back, and it's not, but they have introduced a very similar but much more cool mechanic. So let's just jump right in here. So as you see here, they're introducing what they're calling this is called Nemoka in Japanese, but that could be translated as anything like raged, enraged, outraged, pissed off, you name it. We have tons of words for this already, so just pick one out of the source and that's it. I'm going to say outraged only because it's the same length as frenzied, and I think it works as both an adjective and a noun. Or even a verb. So let's just pick that for now, but check that out. That is such a cool render of Tamamitsune. So over here, they're saying that this is similar to the monster gets really pissed off, but it's not a raged mode, it's an outraged mode. And what's causing this is this mysterious black mist. Now the black mist, unlike the frenzy, doesn't just take over the entire body and just make them faster and more powerful. It actually infects a certain part of the monster. So over here we see that it's infecting the head of Tamamitsune, and here we see it's in the tail. So during the hunt, it will actually move around the monster. The part that has this kind of outrage type of mist or this infection becomes far more powerful. However, it does mention below that if you hit that part with your weapon, it will cause your hunter gauge art for your arts to charge faster. So it's a very high risk, high return type of game. However, unlike the frenzy, these monsters gain a lot of new attacks, which is really exciting. Here we see this weird red effect. We don't know what exactly is going on. My guess is this might be if you break the part that is currently infected, maybe, I don't know, it returns to normal for a few seconds. I don't know. It's all a guess at this point. We have no idea, but we'll find out. So here we see some really cool new attacks where Tamamitsune is using those bubbles a lot more aggressively and a lot more defensively than we've ever seen before. So that promises to be really neat, and they don't really talk about it, but they do show a really cool picture of an outraged Ryzex. Now we already know that this monster is supposed to be really pissed off to begin with, so how much more pissed off can it get? We'll have to wait and find out. Then down here they're just talking about how this replaces frenzy crystals. So once you beat an outraged monster, you get a certain certificate proving that you've done the duty. And you use these certificates, just like you did with frenzy crystals, to use the melding pot in Kokoto Village with Maximeld. So that pretty much replaces it. So it's frenzy, but it's not frenzy, if you know what I mean. Okay, this next page just goes over the Gathering Hall, or the online portion of the game. Now the online is actually pretty much the same as Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, so I'm not going to be covering all the details that they cover here, because it's really just talking about people who've never played the game. So let's zoom in here so we can see our main cast of characters. This is the guild manager woman. We have a helping feline, and this is our desk girl here. They are definitely academics, which is a common theme that we see in Monster Hunter. Now here they're just talking about what's the difference between an offline gathering hall and an online one, but we already know the differences of those from Monster Hunter Cross. Monster Hunter 4U, I'm sorry. But this is a really new feature that I like. So this is the area in which you take a quest and then you depart on it. There's a new prep area. Now generally in prep areas we only had an item box and a girl who can sell us the most basic of items. But now they've really beefed it up, and I think this is really good. So one thing we always had to do was we had to return to our room in order to save our game. Now they're adding a bed in the preparation area, so we can finally save our game as much as we want, which is going to be great. Of course, it doesn't save food, so make sure you keep that in mind. Another thing is they're bringing in the Palico board here, so from here you can go and change between Hunter mode and Nyanta mode. You can customize the skills and all the other stuff with your felines, and you can do that all here. So before you depart on a quest, you can customize, switch into a cat or a hunter, and then go off. Another nagging pick I always was pretty upset about was that after a quest, you always had to go back into town, go back to the smithy, see if you're missing any more parts, and do all that. Now they're adding a combined both armory and a smithy in the prep area. So after you go out on a quest, you should be able to go right here, see if there's a new weapon or an upgrade you can do, and do all that right on the spot. So that's pretty cool. They also have the item box, which we've always had before, but now it has the functions of your room. So you can change your equipment, so you can change it between your sets right there in the hall, which is awesome. You can also change your style or your hunter art on the spot. So this is going to make it a lot easier if you're doing a rotation room of quests and you want to change out your outfit or your style depending on the next monster that was just posted. So very cool stuff, and of course there's a Palico smithy as well. Okay, these next two pages is just a wall of text, but there's only really two major pieces of information I want to cover. So this is again about the online hall. So over here they're talking about the different things that you can do to set up a room. And the new features that they're adding is, now of course you can choose your target who you want to hunt, you can choose what type of quest, you can now stipulate a very specific barrier of HR, anywhere from HR 1 to 999. So if there's a specific barrier that you want to set, you can go ahead and do that here. So it is nice to know that we can go all the way up to Hunter rank 999 in this game. You can also set the amount of people you want to recruit. So if you are with a friend and you only want one random to join or two randoms to join, you can choose between that. And then you can now finally rename the name of what you can name the room, which is great because they took this out in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and 4 and it was horrible. But it was there in 3 Ultimate where you have up to 12 characters to say like English room or Hame room or looking for light bowgunner, or you can add some type of information to really nail down so that you can make sure that you get the right random people that you want to hunt with. So this is a super welcome addition that everybody's been wanting. Down here they're just talking about Street Pass hunters, which are back just like normal. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe it was 3 hunts that it took for a Street Pass hunter to come back from their quest. They're mentioning down here that it is 2 quests. So that's cool if they've made that a little bit shorter. I think people might utilize it a little bit more. Then here they're just talking about the chat system is back from 4U, so you can change the different set messages. You have triggered messages that happen automatically when certain events happen. For example, when you use a Hunter Art, they're like Hunter Art 1 or 2, there's certain lines that you can say. So you can get really creative, I think, with that. Like, here comes the knockout or something before you do like a KO type of hunting art. So that should be pretty fun to see what people come up with. And that's pretty much here. Okay, and on the next 2 pages, they're just covering the arenas. Now, these are places where you have challenge quests where, just like in 4U, they give you a monster, they give you a time in which there is to beat, and if you beat it, you get certain medals. You have like the S rank, the A rank, and the B rank. These are really fun because it gives you an opportunity to try out different styles, different weapons, and they sort of already configure it for you. So it could be a neat way to not only learn new weapons, but to see how really good you are at speed attacks. So that's pretty neat. Down here, they also mentioned that, of course, this now mode supports Nyanta as well. So Nyanta could be a selectable sort of weapon type for these quests. It says down here that there are specific ones. So they're either going to be the Hunter ones or you're going to have the Nyanta ones down here. So it's one of the two. But that's nice to know that they're supporting those for the arena. And they're bringing back both arenas from 4U, but they're bringing back also the Monster Hunter Freedom Unite Outside Water Arena. I don't know the actual name, I apologize, but this is a place where you can fight monsters like Plesioth or any other monsters that utilize water. So it'll be interesting to see what type of monsters they put in here. Okay, and this is the final 2 pages. So here they're just outlining Yukumo Village. This is the village from Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, so go ahead and look that up if you haven't seen it. It's probably one of the most memorable villages. At least I really like the aesthetic. It's very oriental, it's very cool, and I love the background music. So go ahead and look on YouTube for videos of that if you haven't seen it before. But everyone's favorite, so you have the quest girl, you have the super Palico Smithy, who is kind of the leader of all the villages. You do have the village chief, you have the little hot spring where you can put your legs in. And then you have all the other normal functions like the courier. So when you street pass people, you can collect prizes and items, including those special permit tickets. Now again, if you can't street pass, you can still get these permit tickets by spending Y Academy points, so don't worry about that. Other stuff like a hot air balloon for moving in between areas if you're too lazy to use the touch screen, and stuff like the Palico board. And down here, they're just showing off the new Famitsu collaboration greatsword, which looks really cool. However, I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't come out until February 19th, which is like 3 months after release. So I don't know if we're actually going to be caring about that weapon too much when it comes out. But usually the Famitsu weapons are pretty strong, so we'll have to keep an eye for it. Keep out an eye for it. For the next issue, it's going to be on the 26th, so just 2 days before the release of Monster Hunter Cross. It's going to be a whopping 42 pages. However, I don't think I'm going to be doing a video covering it. The reason is usually when they do these huge like scoops, they're just going over all the information they've talked about over the last half year. So that's not going to be anything special. However, there's probably going to be new news in there. So do look forward to my Twitter account or my Tumblr account. I will be spreading that information. It's just these late night Famitsu videos. This is probably going to be my last one because we are going to have the game in hand. So we'll probably have more information than the magazines do. And also just late night videos has been a little bit rough with my busy schedule at work. But if there's something really big, I'll do a video. Don't worry about it. Anyways, that's this week's Famitsu. So really the big news this time is the new type of frenzy called the Outrage, or however you want to call it. And I hope you guys look forward to it. The demo comes out tomorrow here in Japan. We're not sure exactly which time, but you better believe I'll be doing some live streams and some videos showing off all the different styles. Until next time, guys, happy hunting.